Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the 5 under 5 challenge. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes, but first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda. I am so happy you stopped by, and if you're returning, oh, I love you. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pumpkin, Folk Art acrylic paint in the color True Burgundy. I'm also going to use my Waverly antique wax as well as my Waverly plaster. I'm going to use this Thankful pumpkin that I got from Dollar Tree. I actually got it a couple years ago, I think. And then one of these little wooden words from Dollar Tree as well. And then I got this 12 by 12 wood canvas from Dollar Tree. It is normally $3 in their dollar plus section, but one of my Dollar Trees marked them all down to $1.25 to get rid of them. So I was happy to buy them. So I'm going to start off by taking my antique wax. I brush it all over the front and the back of my wood canvas here, and then I just wipe off the excess wax, and then I let it dry a little bit. And then after that, I'm taking my heat gun and my paint scraper here, and I am just very carefully removing that thankful word. And most of the time when I do this, I butcher everything and it comes off in pieces, but I was really let my heat gun sit over that word for a while. In fact, you can kind of see it was starting to scorch the words, but it actually came off in one piece. So I took some washi tape here from Dollar Tree, and I'm laying it out to make some lines. And I was hoping it would be good, but it didn't work out too well. So you'll see that in a little bit. So before I painted, I decided to take my spackling from Dollar Tree and went ahead and filled in the holes. Then I painted my whole pumpkin with my plaster color. After that, I removed the washi tape. I added some more so that I could paint the bigger line, the thicker line, with my antique wax. And I'm just going to go over that thicker line with my wax and then wipe it off with a paper towel, just like you would any other time. And then after I had that done, I removed all of the tape. Well, I dried it first. Then I removed all the tape, and then I dried it. Then I added some more tape, but when I was removing this tape, you guys, some of that purple left like purple mark on my pumpkin. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? So after that, I just retaped it using regular painter's tape. I made another line with the True Burgundy, and then once that was dry, I made some more lines where it was blank from the washi tape, and then painted the orange, and that's what I got. I also used I painted the stem of that pumpkin with hazelnut. Then I painted the Hello Fall with my antique wax, and I took some ribbons. Most of these are from Dollar Tree, except for the orange one I think is the only one that's from Hobby Lobby. I didn't like the gold on this ribbon, so I'm just cutting that gold part off here. And then I am just going to dovetail the ends by folding it and cutting at an angle. And then this is probably the hardest part of the whole project, is I'm just taking each piece, scrunching it up in the middle, and just kind of crisscrossing them. And the hardest part was just holding all of those. But then I took some twine and wrapped it around and just tied a knot. And it just made such a beautiful little bow. I just loved how it came out. So after I had it all done, I'm going to trim off that twine. And I decided to make some holes with my big mouth crocodile, and I'm making a couple holes here. And this is just right underneath that stem. Then I'm going to take a zip tie and I run it through those holes, and then I run it through the back part of my bow, going through that twine. I was like having a hard time figuring out how to get it go through, but I finally got it through. And then I'm just gonna, oh, did you see that? It went through my burlap ribbon. Anyways, I went through the back and then tightened that zip tie and cut off the excess. Then I'm going to use some wood glue here. I am running out of my wood glue, so I'm having to use a brush, and I was just trying to get as much off of the cap as I could. And I'm just going to brush most of the back of my Hello Forward, and then the area that didn't have the wood glue, I used some hot glue, and then I just laid it on the front of my pumpkin. Then I took some Tight Bond multi-purpose glue. I'm adding that to the back of tumbling tower blocks with some hot glue and adding it to my pumpkin. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the top part of those tumbling tower blocks, and then I'm going to turn it around and add it into my wood canvas. And then I just use my ruler here to mark so I'd know where I'd want to make the staples, and I stapled in my hanger, and there it is. I absolutely love how this came out, and it only cost me about $3.50, but it is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. You have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, today is the 5 Under 5 DIY challenge, and it happens on the 5th of every month at 5 p.m. And we are to make 5 DIYs, each DIY being $5 or less. And it is hosted every month by Missi with Crafty Cove, Emily with Farm Charm Chic, and this month's guest host is Favi with Arrows DIY. So make sure you check out their channels as well as the playlist. I will have links to all of them in my description box below. So here's DIY number 2. So for this DIY, you guys, I'm going to use some of these candlesticks that I got at my grocery store a couple of years ago after Christmas. And I don't remember exactly what they were, but I know they were under $2. I got some of these jars from Dollar Tree, and then I'm going to use my Rustoleum 2x extra cover flat white spray paint. But before I painted it, I took some alcohol and I am just wiping my candlesticks and jars down really well. Then I took some E6000 and I'm just going to put it along the sides of my candlestick here, and then I'm going to use some hot glue where I didn't put the E6000, and then I'm just going to set my my jars on top of those candlesticks. Then I took them outside and painted them with my white spray paint. Once they were all dry, I am taking some Waverly chalk paint in the color pumpkin, and I'm going to paint the jars with that orange. Now you might be asking, why did I spray paint them and then paint over them with the white? And I mainly did it because I was using that spray paint more like a primer, especially with glass, because you know, sometimes paint doesn't want to stick to glass. So I'm using that paint more like a primer. So I am just going to go over each pumpkin, and once it was dry, I took my antique wax and I'm just brushing along through the little crevices along this what I'm calling a pumpkin, because I think it looks like a pumpkin, and I absolutely adore these. I love how these came out. I went ahead and did a little distressing around the top there, just like you see me doing. And then I did the same thing. I painted the lid with the orange as well, and then did the distressing. Then I went down to my candlestick and I'm going to cover it with my antique wax. Now I love doing this because a lot of times you can see bits of that white sticking through, and it kind of makes it look like real wood, and I love it. So I'm just kind of brushing it all along until because you kind of have some brush marks, and I just keep brushing it until it's at a point where I like it. And then you want to let it dry for quite a while. Probably overnight is a good amount of time. So I am just going to take some hot glue here, and I'm going to wrap the bottom part with some of my twine that I got from Walmart, and I just wrap it around about three or four times, I don't remember. And this just kind of gives it a little more rustic look, and I love rustic. And then I decided to do the same thing around the lid. Now I'm not going on the bottom and covering the lid because I want to be able to remove the lid. And I thought about maybe trying to put some fairy lights in it, maybe, to see if it lights up. It might be too dark with all the paint. But anyways, I went ahead and just covered the lid again with some more twine, and then I'm just going to glue it. And I did glue it in little spots here and there just to make sure it stays in place. After that, I took a piece of wood. This is from Dollar Tree. It comes in a little package of wood pieces. Then I took some berry pick here and or pip berry, and I'm wrapping it around, coiling it around one of my paintbrushes, and then I just wrap it around that stem, and then I just kind of tacked some of it down with some hot glue on both sides there. And after I had that done, I went ahead and added some more hot glue along the top of my lid, and then I'm gonna add some Spanish moss, and I do that on both the top or both sides of that lid, just like you see me doing right here. And once I had that all the way I liked it, I think I'm going to give it a little bit of a haircut here, trim off some of those pieces. Then I took an acorn. I got this acorn, I don't know when, a while back from Hobby Lobby. You can still get them at Hobby Lobby, and just glued one in there. Now I'm going to make a finger bow, but I'm going to go over my fingers 3 times, and then I'm going to cut off a long tail. Then I'm going to wrap that tail around those loops that are on my finger, come back around and go through the loop that I just made around those loops on my finger, and then I pull really tight. After that, I'm just going to trim off the bottom of the ribbon, and I'm going to hot glue that on the bottom, and there it is. And I made 2 of those, so they are about $4 each, and I love them. And if you don't have those candlesticks, you could use any kind of candlesticks from Dollar Tree, but I absolutely love the way these came out. Oh, I think they are just beautiful. You'll have to let me know what you think about these in the comment box below. Okay, I just again like to take this moment to thank all my subscribers. You guys are wonderful. And if you're new here and you enjoyed today's video and you like home decor on a budget, I hope that you would hit that red subscribe button before you go. And then make sure you guys give me that thumbs up, comment, and watch those ads, because that really does help support my channel. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find the links to my accounts as well as my affiliate accounts in the comment box below. No. Description box below. Here's DIY number 3. Okay, so for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paints in the color Plaster and Pumpkin. Oh my goodness. Waverly Antique Wax, and then my Folk Art True Burgundy again. I'm going to use one of these doilies that came from Dollar Tree. I was going to use one of these sticks from Hobby Lobby. It was too big, so I ended up finding a smaller one in my stash. And then this thankful word came off that first DIY, and then I'm going to use this sign. I've had this since 2021, so I've had it for 2 years, you guys. So I'm going to start off by removing that little sign on the front, and you guys, this paper came off so amazingly easy. I wish it always came off this easy. I did not have to use my water technique. I was amazed at how easy this paper was coming off. I was just using my little spatula to get underneath it, and then look, it just pulled right off, and it was just so clear. I couldn't believe it. So I painted both sides with that plaster color. I did fill in those holes with the spackling as well. Then I took one of these bottle caps from Dollar Tree. I traced around it, and then I'm just taking my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pumpkin, and I'm just going to paint all around that circle area. And I wasn't really trying to be too careful because I knew that the doily was going to cover where I have this orange round piece. So once I have this all done, and once it was dry, I cut out my doily. I put that bottle cap on top of the middle part of the doily and just kind of cut around it, leaving a little bit of fabric because I knew that I kind of went outside the lines. So I knew it needed to make a little bit bigger. Then I'm taking this Elmer spray glue and just trying to spray right along the inside of that circle or the orange part. And then I laid my doily on top. After that, I took my antique wax and a chip brush, and I'm just doing some distressing all around the sides. And then I just did a little bit around the middle. Then I took my thankful word here in that True Burgundy, and I'm just painting that thankful letter, word, whatever it is, with my True Burgundy, and then I will set it aside to dry. And once I had that all done, I took some of this braided jute cord. I have this in my Amazon store if you're interested in it. I love this stuff. And I'm just going to hot glue it and go all the way around my doily. I just felt like it just brought it out a little bit more because of the, I don't know, I just thought it brought it out a little bit more. And I got done here and I almost put some little lines with my twine in the middle of it like a pumpkin, but I just felt like it was too much because that doily is pretty busy. So then I just hot glued some of these leaves. These leaves I got like 2 years ago from Amazon. They came with like 500 leaves and I've still got plenty of leaves left over. I just hot glued them there, and then I took my little stick and hot glued it, and then I made another finger bow and just hot glued it on top of that stick. Then I'm just going to hot glue my thankful word all right across my little doily pumpkin. Then I took these ribbons, one's from Walmart, one's from Dollar Tree, one's from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just making the awareness ribbon and then just kind of flattening it down. I'm going to wrap some twine around it and scrunch the middle up and tie it tight. And then I did dovetail the ends again of each one of those bows. I took my big mouth crocodile again and I made 4 holes. And I'm going to take a zip tie again, and I'm going to again use it to add my bow to the front of my sign. And you can always use hot glue if you would like. I'm just trying to do more stuff that's a little more permanent in case I try selling my stuff, because I have a collection of stuff that I don't know what to do with. So here it is. I think it came out really cute. I think it's a fun idea. I don't know. You have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, so here is a time for a celebration of your recreation. I only have one for you today, Jessica. Look at these really pretty things that she made for, I'm guessing, her fireplace, it looks like. Oh, they're so pretty, Jessica. Great job. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, and I am always thrilled to death to see what everyone's making and to showcase them for you. Okay, here's DIY number 4. Now this is going to be a really easy one. This is more beginner friendly. I know you guys are really enjoying that and asked for that, so I'm going to try and show you guys some more of those. So I'm going to start off with one of those crates. I used the top part of it on a previous DIY, that a rub-on transfer. These pumpkins came from Walmart. They were 2 of them were $1. The other one came in a package of some. Then I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paints in the color Plaster, Celery, Pumpkin, and then again my True Burgundy by Folk Art. I'm going to start off by painting that little box with the Plaster, and then one of the pumpkins with Celery, one with Pumpkin, and one with the True Burgundy. Once they were all dry, I took some styrofoam, stuck it inside my box, added some moss here, and then I'm just going to hot glue that pumpkin in. I should have added some little sticks to it so that it poked in, but it is what it is. Then I hot glued that orange one on top of the green one, and I added a leaf in between. Then I added the red one, or the burgundy one, on the top, and added another leaf. Now, as you can tell on the 2 bottom pumpkins, I did pull out the stems. And then after that, I took a handful of, raffia, and tied some raffia around it, gave it a little bit of a haircut so it wasn't so wild, and I'm going to hot glue it to the very top. And I'm going to show you that right there. And look how cute that is. Then I took this rub-on transfer and I start rubbing, and I'm like, why isn't it working? It's not coming off. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought, well, maybe I should read the directions since I haven't done one of these before. Oh, there's a piece behind it. But look at this. It was sticking, like the pumpkin was sticking and one of the leaves was sticking, and I couldn't. I was hoping, I thought, well, maybe if I rub a little bit, it will stick. No, it didn't. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to cut off the areas that came off and just do it like that, and it looks okay. I would have liked if I had the whole little rub-on transfer there, but it looks okay. So I added this by just rubbing and then pulling it off, and that's all there was for this. I paid about $4 for everything, and it is really cute. It's really small, but it's a great little shelf sitter, and it's really easy for those of you who are beginners or have a hard time with your hands. Okay, DIY number 5 is another beginner-friendly DIY. So I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pumpkin and my antique wax. I'm also going to use this Gather signs or words from Dollar Tree and one of these signs from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by taking my wax, and I'm just taking a paper towel and brushing it on, just kind of adding the wax to my paper towel and just kind of brushing it on. And I just did the edges. Then I lined up my houses here, and I made a straight line, and then I cut each one of them so that way they're all the same size. And I just cut them with my scissors. They cut really easily because they're very thin. And once I had them all cut, I painted them with my chalk paint in the color pumpkin there. And then once they were all dry, I laid them out, and then I cut off little pieces from that floral pick. And I didn't have any sticks. If you have little sticks, that might work better. That's the only thing I had. But I glued on my little blocks here using my tight bond glue and hot glue. Then I just used my hot glue to add those little teeny sticks there. And then I took some really thin twine that came off of like the little wood ornaments, made little teeny bows, and just hot glued one on each pumpkin there. And then I'm adding some of these stickers, one to that corner and another one to the upper left corner or right corner, depending on which way you're looking at it. Then I took some of this ribbon. I cut this summer. It was on clearance for 99 cents from Hobby Lobby. I'm just making the awareness ribbon, scrunching it up in the middle and tying some jute twine around it and tying it tight to make a little bow. I dovetailed the ends, hot glued it in the front, and that's all there was. Super, super easy. I paid maybe $2.75 to put this together, and I think it is very, very sweet. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. And your final reveal is coming right up. Again, thank you so much for watching today, and make sure you guys check out the host channels as well as the playlist. And I will be back again on, I think it's Friday. It's the 8th. So have those notification bells set. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go, and the like and comment. That all really helps me out, and I truly appreciate it. So with all that being said, you guys, I hope you have a blessed rest of your week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.